Meanwhile, in Tupac news,
The shooting of Tupac Shakur once again underscores the violence that has surrounded this man since he shot the superstar.
People pulled up, opened fire. Shakur and Knight.
Tupac Shakur was shot several times in the chest. Shakur was pronounced dead.
Machiavellianist, Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot it. Feel me? Selling my soul for material wishes. Fast cars, bitches. Wishing I lived my life a legend, immortalized the pictures.
Rap-A-Lot Records, a Houston-based rap label that has created some of the biggest stars in the South. Meet James Prince.
You've been involved in a lot of situations of brokering deals and brokering peace and all of that. And you mentioned in the book that you did not want to be involved with brokering the situation between Puff and Suge in the East and it wasn't really East and West Coast, between Puff and Suge, because you didn't fully understand what was going on. You couldn't fully wrap your mind around it because you didn't feel like you was getting 100% of the truth. And you also said that you were very close to going to meet with Pac while he was in jail and working out business with him.
Right.
Is that one of those things that you still think about, like at times, like if you guys had done business together, if you would have been there to kind of guide him and keep him from wilding out, that he would still be here?
Yeah, definitely around the time he got hit, you know what I mean? I couldn't do nothing but play that around in my mind over and over again because I was with him like a week or so before that happened.
Right.
And he asked me, man, come go out with me, come party with me. But my old man had just came home from jail. I'm like, I gotta go home, Pop. But yeah, I played that around, man, because I saw so many things I would have done differently. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Even on that ride that night, there's an art and a science to how you roll in the street with vehicles. Right. And if that was even used appropriately, nobody could have pulled up on him and got off on him like that.
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is Machiavelli Media. Now, you just heard from a hip-hop legend right there. There was a little snip from a Jay Prince interview where Jay Prince has a lot of doubt and a lot of regret over what happened to Tupac. Now, Jay Prince is a legend. He's a hood legend. He's a street legend, and he's also a legend in the music industry. But Jay Prince is always very critical of not only how Suge Knight ran Death Row Records, but how Suge Knight ultimately handled Tupac. And you know why that is? Because Jay Prince wanted to sign Tupac to Rap-A-Lot Records. He had a lot of Tupac friends over there already, and Scarface and the Ghetto Boys and several other acts. But he wanted Tupac. And he said Suge beat him to the punch by 1 week. 1 week's time made the difference between Tupac going to Rap-A-Lot Records versus Death Row. And that 1 week may have saved Tupac's life. Now, you hear Jay Prince say if he was riding with Tupac, things would have went very differently. So he's saying, basically, in my opinion, Suge didn't know what he was doing. Now, I talk to my Death Row family quite often. Shout outs to my man, Reggie Wright Jr., shout outs to Sharik the Knight. And this ain't no shot to them, but it's definitely a shot of how things wound up. Jay Prince believes it wasn't handled right. It wasn't handled right, from Suge Knight's deal. Because Suge didn't, protect Tupac properly. Jay Prince says certain ways you got to move when you're maneuvering in the streets. And when you're dealing with superstardom. When you're dealing with a celebrity, all I's got to be dotted, all T's got to be crossed. You know what it is. No doubt in my mind, Suge Knight really cared about Tupac. I mean, Pac was a huge investment. Pac was paying off handsomely. You know, he was making money for the label. And, you know, Suge was riding beside him. But Jay Prince don't care about that. He said it. Shit wasn't done right, man. And he said, you know, he had talked to Tupac a week earlier before his death. Pac was like, yo, come on out here. And Jay Prince said his father just got out of prison and he couldn't go. I'm wondering, did that conversation happen around the time Tupac recorded the song Smile with Scarface? Everybody knows Scarface, one of Tupac longtime homeboys. I want to get Scarface on the show too because that's one brother I got a lot of respect for. But yeah, you know, Pac and Scarface go way back. They used to call themselves the B-list rappers because they wasn't quite superstars at that time. You had Richie Rich, you had Spice One, you had Scarface, you had Tupac, you had like Too Short, you had MC8, shout outs to my man 8 from Compton's Most Wanted. All them guys hitting the road together, calling themselves the B-list rappers. You know what I mean? That's crazy because each one of them dudes are legendary. But they considered themselves B-list rappers. They had to be a joke. They had to be playing. Maybe they wasn't mainstream enough in their opinion, but they all say Tupac blew up. So Pac couldn't consider himself B-list after that. It was all eyes on him. But yeah, Jay Prince feel like he could have did more with Tupac. And some people say, oh no, he couldn't have did more with Tupac. Tupac reached superstardom when he got to Death Row. He took Pac to another level. Pac took them to another level. Well, here's a good example of maybe how things would have wound up if Tupac had actually signed the Rap A Lot Records. Just look at the success, you know, Jay Prince had with Drake. Drake is the number one entertainer in the world right now.
Drake became another
Straight
major
up.
accomplishment by James Prince.
I'm not saying he's the best. I would never say that. Because quite honestly, I'm not a Drake fan. But Drake is the biggest draw in the entertainment industry. As far as sales, as far as, you know, success, you know, and draw. His name is a big deal right now, you know, and Drake, I was about to say Dre, but Jay Prince had a lot to do with that, a whole lot to do with that. And I just think he could have did the same thing with Tupac, you know. Now, hindsight is always 20/20, you know. We know what happened to Tupac once he signed with Death Row. Not saying it was Death Row's fault, but he died when he got with Death Row. Would things have been different if he had went with Rap A Lot Records? You got to ask yourself, I mean, would it have made a difference? Jay Prince, he sure thinks it would have. He really thinks that, you know, Tupac would still be alive if Pac had went with him. And it sounds like he's got regret. Maybe some things he could have did differently. Maybe he could have went harder. You know, maybe he could have moved that trip to the prison a week sooner. You know, sometimes at the moment you don't feel like things are worth, you know, the extra headache or stressing yourself out. People like Jay Prince, trust me, they don't rush to do anything because everything is well calculated. So they take their time, you know. But I think he feel like it's something he could have did differently that would have ultimately got him Tupac, and he feel like, you know, things would have been different. Another way to put it, it is what it is, but the brother done spoke on it like 2 or 3 times now, and it's always him being critical of Suge Knight. Ain't no other way to put it. Him being critical of Suge Knight. feel like Suge wasn't prepared, or Suge wasn't smart enough, or prepared or skilled enough to ultimately protect an artist like Tupac. Tell me what you think. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. Please share and like this video. This your homie Gab. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.
We save a breath for the homie Pop.